Ciao, we're here in beautiful Piemonte in the lovely Langhe Hills with my very good friend Domenico, who has a very long history of working in the wine industry, specifically in Piemonte. And for me, I've had the pleasure of meeting many people in the industry, and there's a lot of books and there's movies out there that talk about what is happening in Barolo and the Langhe, specifically in Barolo, in regards to modern producers, traditional producers, and what have you. And of many of the people I've met, I have not had the pleasure and the opportunity to meet somebody like Domenico to express with purity and clarity what is happening now, what has happened historically, and where things really are. And Domenico, please share with us a little bit about your background, and then where you've arrived to these ideas and this incredible, great vision that you have that is so clear that I've been inspired and motivated for this great opportunity because you have a great solid foundation, and I would love for you to share so that we can all embrace this vision.
Okay, no, thank you, Gregory. It's my background is very simple. It's I mean, just working in the wine industry with the producer, learning step by step, year by year. Actually, learning from producer, but especially learning from drinking wine, because at the end of the day, everybody talk about great wine, but you need to know what is a great wine.
Exactly.
And to know what is a great wine, you need to drink the wine. Otherwise, you have to open the bottle. You have to, and this is what actually I was really lucky, because working with some of the producer I work with, I had this opportunity, and I choose also many years ago to move from my hometown, which is close to Milan, here in Piemonte. Actually, you say Lang, but we are now in Roero. I live in Roero, next door, and nothing. My vision is not a vision. It's just sometimes, when you work with the producers, especially historically important producers, and when you are into this environment of made by high quality producers, you need to, at the end of the day, have a clear picture of what is going on and what was and why we are here now. And so what actually I did was just follow these people and ask them, and share with them time as much as I can, and not only for business, but to understand from them what really was the movement, what was the revolution, because everybody used this word, right? Revolution.
Yeah.
It was a revolution. Was a revolution 40. Let's say 40 years ago.
Right. Specifically,
this was 74, 75. Yes, it was everything starting from.
Before that, there was almost nobody drank Barolo.
I mean, before that, everybody knows that very difficult to find. Very. I mean, often a good bottle of Barolo or anyway Nebbiolo, because historically. For example, Dolcetto and Barbera was more expensive than Barolo. And
Barbera and Dolcetto was more expensive than Barolo.
This is actually until the 80s. So if you talk with some producers, for example, like Clerico, he can tell you that when he used to sell personally the wine in Italy, he always sell a lot of cases of Dolcetto, and he gave for free cases of Barolo to make people taste Barolo, because nobody wanted.
It's incredible.
Because it took a long time anyway after the revolution started to make people understand the change. So even if people they changed in winemaking before, but in the market you need time. Yeah. So this was the mentality, because before Nebbiolo was really difficult wine, Barolo was difficult wine. people like Elio Altare always say that you cannot drink. So you have this wine, you open, green tannin, harsh, very acidity, very acidic, no actually fruit.
Sometimes oxidized.
Exactly, but really no sweetness, no pleasure.
Yeah.
So no pleasure. So what's the point to drink something that doesn't give you pleasure?
Mm-hmm.
And so nobody wants. And then the answer was always, oh yeah, but you need to wait. And then you wait, but nothing changed.
Nothing
so
happens.
some people, few people, that time, people that historically people knows like Altare, Scalino, Clerico, Boerzio, Sandrone, for example, they start to think about. And they say what we should do.
Those were the original.
Exactly. So I mean, these people were there was a group of people that start to say, okay, look, what we should do to make this different, to make a good wine, a pleasant
world-class wine.
Actually, yes, a wine that everybody wants to buy because there's the next door, our neighbor, the Burgundy people.
Yeah.
They used to sell a bottle of wine expensive, and all the market want this wine. So they try to understand how actually was possible to make a wine that can give you pleasure even when it's young, from a grape like a Nebbiolo, which is very difficult, but also has a very long life. That was the target. So these people, the people start to move to this target. So pleasure at the beginning, but also long life.
Long life, yeah.
And of course, there was an exchange between Burgundy and Barolo, and back and forth for a few years, and then in the let's say 77, 78. 78 very important vintage actually, also because some of important producer, they make for the first time single vineyard, because also this is another thing we have to count. Before, not really single vineyard.
Yeah.
There was not the philosophy to make different wine from different vineyards.
Some people didn't even know they had crews.
Exactly. So was everything was blended. So historically was like this, because also historically was more on the quantity side than the quality side, the production.
People were doing for big yields.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the 78 was important because, for example, some crew like Brick del Fiasco from Scavino 78 and few others. Anyway, very important. And from that years, the producer start to understand that, first of all, and that is the biggest revolution, it's not really food, big, small, it's not really that, but was understand that everything comes from the vineyards.
Starts in the vineyard.
Exactly. So forget about quantity. Before you grow as much as you can, because you used to sell to other company, the big company, big winery, by weight. So you need to produce as much as you can, right? And now people, they say, no, everything starts from the vineyard, so we have to increase the quality. And the first thing to increase the quality, of course, first of all, is the vineyards itself, but then the quantity.
Reduce the yield.
And so they start to think that you need to cut.
That's where green harvesting,
Exactly.
And they got that idea from Burgundy, from going to trips out there.
So this is what happening and what happened, and that was the first big revolution. And that revolution actually was also the reason of a very big clash between generations. Was not actually within people that say, oh, I'm using big cask, or I'm using barrique. Now this came later and was another story. Actually, the big clash was between the old generation, the fathers and then the grandfather, that they saw their son that was throwing away the food. Because
throwing the food on the grape.
Exactly, because they cut in the grape, but they throw away what was the food for them, because they used to sell by weight.
Yeah.
And so they say, and then these people became like literally, truly sinner. Not only crazy, considered crazy by the society, but really sinner.
As the church bells ring.
Yeah,
Perfect.
the church is better because you have to think, no, now exactly. Here we are surrounded by church, so small community, Catholic, everybody know each other, family know each other, and having somebody that is completely actually destroying or completely putting upside down what was the normal common sense of working in the vineyards. It was a big thing for the old generation. So they see the son that they say, my son is crazy. And that big revolution, that clash was so big for some of them that actually between the family there was really big issues. So the biggest actually issues was into the families. And then but these people they kept doing. So that's why they are actually important, because they took a risk for that. And then of course that then the normal evolution of the thing, they try to also, you have quality in the vineyards. Okay, now how you can actually bring this quality in the cellar and then into the bottle. So you have to follow, right? So you need not to ruin everything.
Yeah.
So of course, so a little bit of technology.
Yeah.
So temperature, fermentation, controlling. I mean, more carefully during all the process. Hey, by the way, I am not a winemaker. This is everything from experience and from what my experience. So I'm not a technique. I want to be clear.
You've been in the industry for a very long time.
But I don't want to go into more in these details. This is for more technical people. But what I would like to say that the quality anyway is a process, and in this process you get involved in different aspects. So these people, they also look at the other aspect. So vineyards first, and then cellar. And so also the concept, and then the philosophy to have a clean cellar, not like before. I mean, keeping everything properly clean, tight. And then the wood. Okay, now we come to the wood. What actually was the big issue in the years? Modern style producer, barrique, classical, traditional, big cask, or also in the cellar, modern style, short fermentation time, concentration, and then the other one long. Actually, I found in many years and working with a lot of different producers, because I work with producers like modern, consider, and also classic. So actually, I found that at the end of the day, what you get in the glass, if it's great anyway, and they give you anyway feeling and emotion. So to me, this is the first things. What you have in the glass, you should ask yourself, what gives you something exceptional?
Yeah.
Then after that, you're going to check the way it's made, was made. But at the end of the day, long fermentation, short fermentation, big cask, small cask, French oak, Slovenian oak, chestnut oak, whatever you want. But if the result is great, means that people works well. And this is the thing. So means that all
works well in the vineyard.
Was well in the vineyards and then in the cellar. So actually all the process was perfectly done.
Yeah.
Then it's just a matter of taste. It's just a matter of what gives you more feeling, or So I work with producer in many places of Barolo. So Serralunga, Monforte, Castiglione, La Morra, Barolo. But to me, I can have my own personal taste. For example, I love Barolo from Monforte, from Serralunga, but this is my taste.
Yeah.
But there are wonderful also Barolo wines from any other places, like here in Roero, in Barbaresco, in the different villages, in different crews. Everything has different aspect, different feeling, they give different sensation. They different, it's this is the great things of Nebbiolo. To me, At the end of the day,
What does great Nebbiolo taste like, by the way? Within generally speaking, without going into specifics about villages.
I mean, scholastically speaking, the Nebbiolo should be more on the flower nose, like everybody says on every book, or you Google violet, rose, but sometimes you have also mint or balsamic herbs. It depends of the vintage.
Peach.
It depends, yeah, but it depends. It depends of the vintage. Depends of the area. For example, Serralunga, Monforte. To me, what I try sometimes, I really love the aroma, the nose, because it's very flowery, very very delicate, very elegant. I'm much more for that than more fruity driven, but this is also depends of which vineyards you're talking about.
Right.
To me, in Barolo, it's just a matter of how the producer is really truly working from the vineyards to the bottle. If everything is made in a proper way, in a quality way, at the end of the day, the level is the same for me. And the difference, maybe, is only made by the vineyards. Because, okay, if you have, for me, my opinion, if you have great producers, if you have 5 great producers, same level,
yeah,
different area, different vineyards, the only difference between them is the vineyards that they own.
Right.
Because if you have Brunate, Brunate is Brunate. If you have Cannubi, Cannubi is Cannubi. If you have Ginestra, if you have some part of Busia, if you have any, I mean, La Morra, you have Arborina, you have Annunziata, you have Rocche in Castiglione, I mean, you have Monvigliero, you have a lot of different crew. Today all mapped, so specifically mapped finally, so officially mapped, so you can really see. You get different things, and then at the end of the day, the difference is only that. But again, it's a difference that follow more your taste, and not the truly quality. Are all great, but different.
Yeah.
It's like in Burgundy.
Yeah, they're expressing the terroir and the land more.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, terroir and land always mixed with the producer mind, because, and this is the other difference, and the people that should, for me, people that should accept this. You should accept, because people are different. Me and you, we are different. If you make wine, I make wine. We are making wine in a different way. Always working well in the vineyards, making the best we can to get the quality, but at the end of the day, we are two different person, and then we thinking in a different way. Maybe we do slightly different, and our wine is going to be different. And people after that, they decide which one is the one that they like the most.
Exactly.
But doesn't mean that your wine is better or is worse than mine.
True.
In terms of quality. So, I think that the purpose of this conversation should be, and I tried to do this in 20 years, going around in the market I follow, especially Asia, try to tell the people that at the end of the day, it's the glass, what the glass gives you, and then you're gonna see how the producer work to get this glass, and if a lot of producers work well, they all deserve. It's just at the end of the day a matter of taste.
And so, exactly, it is a matter of taste. And, another point to look at is this: when people try to put people in their box of like, oh, you're modern or you're traditional, they think, oh, because you use, now more than anything, because I think almost all of the producers farm in a very similar manner in the vineyard, at a very high level, with doing green harvesting, managing the canopy. So the vineyard work is almost, like you said, it's the vineyard that it speaks and it comes out in the glass, because the level of the quality, attention to detail in the vineyard is very high. But then you have people who use large cask, and you have people who use small barrique, and then you have people that say, oh, well, that's modern, that's traditional, and the lines, and that's no longer true because
It used to be 40 years ago like that. Maybe in few years later, but then and then I think that right now there is no. I always say that they are all great producers. I drink beautiful wine and I buy and I drink beautiful wine from producers that use big cask and they do long time in fermentation, or and I drink as the same beautiful wine from producers that they do three days fermentation and then barrique. So it's not, to me, it's always, you need to be always balanced. And this is also what some producers always told me. There are a couple of producers, especially one, this is Clerico Domenico. He says that sometimes in the past he wrong. They did too much.
he admits mistakes.
It is, but but this is a
It's
part
life.
of, it's a life. I mean, you grow, you grow as a person, you grow as a businessman, you grow as a winemaker, you grows as a vineyard, and then he grows as a farmer.
Yeah.
And then you try, because sometimes you are convinced with something, and then after 10 years you realize that the result was not what you expect, and then you have also to be courageous enough to change.
Yeah.
And there is nothing wrong on that. Some people, they think that, oh, now he used to use a barrel, now he use also big cask, he's changing because he's following them out. No, you should also sometimes think that people, honestly, they just think that what they did before was not as good as they thought.
Yeah.
And they just change and they experiment. This is a part of the thing. I prefer know somebody that won't always make himself into the game and try, than somebody that is convinced since the beginning, from the beginning until the end of the life, that it's just right in this way and that's it. I mean,
No, they don't believe any other method or manner.
then at the end of the day, the proof is the time. If you open a bottle after 20 years and still beautiful, producer was right. Doesn't matter, big cask, small cask, long, short, whatever, it's right.
Yeah.
That's it, because everybody wants, enjoy wine that can also, open a bottle of Barolo 20, 30 years and say, wow, now we can. Before we couldn't.
Yeah.
Now we have a 40 years history,
Yeah.
50 years history. I mean, we have now some,
Yeah.
20 years for some producers, so now we can also have this proof. The proof is the time. It's only the time. There is nothing else. And this is the risk, actually, that the producer take. People, they should think that every time a producer make a decision in the vineyards, then in the cellar, and until he put in the bottle, that decision, when the bottle is closed,
Yeah. Bas, it's done.
it's done. And then you're gonna see in the years in the future if you were right or wrong. So sometimes it's like that. I think that, honestly, wine is a business for us, but we should not to make it too serious sometimes.
Exactly.
Too much noise around. It's for me, it's much more simple than what the market think.
Gets overcomplicated out there.
And then at the end of the day, it's pleasure.
You drink wine for pleasure.
Come on, yeah, it's
Not for
like,
pain.
the nose. Why these people a long time ago, they say, oh, we want to make a pleasant wine.
Yeah.
Because when you put in the nose, the wine on the nose, 90% of your brain tell you, if you don't like the nose, you're not
You don't
going
want
to
to drink it. Yeah.
even if you don't realize.
That's
It's a reflect.
Yeah, it's human nature.
And then again, doesn't matter if it's small, big cask, or you just don't drink this wine.
Yeah.
So you need to have everything balanced, properly made, and today,
Yeah.
thanks of what happened 4 years ago, today we have so many producers. You can enjoy the wine. We have so many. There are a lot of producers out there that they make beautiful wine. It's just a matter of people find your wine.
Exactly.
I have my wine. Everybody has own wine, and also, in going around in the market, you will also know. Sometimes you open the bottle, right, and then there are some wine that people they always expect to be perfect.
because they think they're going to be amazing
It's not
always.
possible. When a wine is truly made, when we are talking about truly wine, not factory wine, truly wine, it's normal.
Yeah.
And thanks God that it's like that. That not every single bottle are the same.
Fine wine is fine wine. If it was the same every single year, then it would be commercial Coca-Cola. It'd be the same.
Yeah.
And just the one thing to talk, just to hit that note, is that a lot of times people that use the big cask, I mean, they say, oh, they're traditional, but they're using new casks now that they never.
They even the big one now they are more, you know, they are more taking care than before. I mean, so you change more often than before.
Yeah.
The wood is, of course, the quality of the wood is everything changed.
No.
Even the industry
No.
of the, you know, bottaio, who make the la botte,
Yeah.
change because of this revolution of this process in the years, because producer want to have the best quality possible for the food. So also the industry making the wood, they have to be now is more careful than before.
Yeah.
So everything you see is a chain where everything has to be put it in a perfect way. It's a process, a long process where everything has to be made more precise, in a more precise way than before.
And it's kind of like a chef, you know. You want for a chef to make a great dish,
yeah.
you need great ingredients.
It's the normal
technique.
evolution of the life, the history that the society is like. You know, the car 60 years ago was not like the car today. So
Yeah.
that's it.
It's an evolution, and it's a great representation. I love it because it's like we're always getting better,
Yeah.
and we're always changing. You know, if we were thought the same, now we have iPhones and we have ability to do things, and if we don't learn from the past, then where are we?
Yeah, and then there are people, for example, that also for the car and the motorbike, you know, they like vintage things, right?
Right.
You like to have some old, you know, piece of art.
Right.
But of course, maybe that type of car they cannot do 200,000 kilometers like the car today. They can make it, right?
Correct.
So it's a different aspect of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an evolution, and then you can take the good things from each thing. This is the only way. I mean, never be in the wine. Be, for example, with the prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's natural. I understand, because everybody has own preferred thing. I mean, everybody has an idea. But sometimes to me it's like to lose something, you know. If I think, okay, oh Gregory, are you work with this wine? No, I am sommelier. I have to buy from you, right? Okay, I say, okay, are you working with this one? Oh, I don't want this because this producer use barrica. I don't like barrica. You know, saying that to me is like if you are missing something.
Yeah.
Because you are actually maybe don't give yourself the possibility to try something that maybe can surprise you.
Right.
And the same in another way. Or people that say, oh, I like only old Barolo. I mean, my market in Asia is very common. Everybody likes, you know, drinking more. Of course, 10 years old Barolo is more evolved, more, you know, sometimes pleasant in a way than young one. But if you drink only old one, you're losing the young part of the Nebbiolo is a grape that is such. The greatness of Nebbiolo is that it's okay. This is because of my English, but the greatness of Nebbiolo is actually because it's a great grape at any time. So it's great when it's young. It's great when it's you know, it's growing. When it get the peak, and then also when it get old. If you are passionate enough, if you are careful enough to check, Nebbiolo can give you beautiful feeling and emotions anytime. And this is only a few grapes in the world can do that. So that's why I say, why you don't try a bottle when he's young and then later, and then you see the evolution. It's like a person. It's like when you meet somebody.
Yeah.
If you meet these people after 30 years, you miss what was before.
Oh, exactly.
You know, and
You have to be open-minded and willing to try.
yeah,
You know,
sometimes yes. And then you also realize the potential,
no.
and because then you really see also, for example, the value of the vineyards.
Exactly.
Because,
It shines through in the glass.
And this is what actually the real, truly, like I said before, if you talk with Elio Altare or the other people, they say to you, "Ooh, this is was actually," Elio always say, my target, my wish was be able to make a great Nebbiolo, okay, for him Barolo, but a great Nebbiolo when it's just bottled, young, and after 30 years. That's it. When people drink and they say, wow, I'm happy
It's delicious.
to
I
drink
wanna
this
drink it. Yeah,
wine.
yeah.
That's it. Simply like that.
Yeah. I love that. At the end of the day, in conclusion, to wrap this up, nowadays, the lines are blurred. There's really no more of the two different divisions.
I know, because also you see, you know, you've been visiting some producer. Some of them now, they also use, they still use in Barrique, for example, single vineyard, but then for the classic Barolo, a lot now they use a big cask, they blend. There is an evolution on that. Every year is different also.
Right.
And I think is part of the reality, the history. This is the situation, and I like that. Actually, I don't have any prejudice. Just for me, which actually I'm nobody, but I like.
You're very humble.
I know I like to drink wine, but I'm nobody to judge. But when I drink a wine, I can judge for my taste, and I love many different type of Nebbiolo, Barolo, Barbaresco, Roero, whatever. I mean, I like a different style, a different producer. When I really get that these producers are really, truly quality, real producer.
Love that.
That this is the most. And of course, when you drink a great vineyards, a great crew, this is another story. There are some vineyards that are different. They are different than others.
At the end of the day, you're just probably inviting people more to just open the bottle, pour it in the glass.
And after that, you discuss.
After that, you discuss, because is the wine pleasurable? Do you want to drink it? Do you want to drink it? Is it to give you pleasure? Yeah. And then from there you move forward.
Yeah, and then never say never say never.
Never say never.
You open a bottle and sometimes you find really a lot of surprise from producers and wine that you never can imagine because maybe you thought in a different way. And then you open a wine and they say, "Wow, wait a moment, let's see and discuss because this wine it's not what I thought." And it happened to me many times. And it's happening every day, almost every day. This is the beauty of the great wine. And then back to Nebbiolo is because Nebbiolo is a wine that actually it's a grape that I don't think you never get enough.
Yeah,
this is the thing.
That's incredible. Dome, I really appreciate you spending the time. And for those of you who are watching this, I hope this inspires you to open a bottle of Nebbiolo either today, tomorrow, tonight, soon.
For anything.
For anything.
Yeah.
And cheers.
This is not Nebbiolo, but it's hot outside, so we need some fresh.
Salute.
Salute.
Ciao.